Good morning. Good to be with you this morning. Man, if you have been watching the news, at least today when we are starting, it is just amazing what is going on in our province.
That's a word.
See, I'm from Chilliwack before here, and Tuesday night Cheryl was watching the how much flooding was happening, and we were just thinking about all the people we know and that it's become an island. And you were telling me a little bit more today.
Oh, I mean, things are nuts, right? Like, and at first I was like that. I saw some pictures online, and we've all seen pictures, and it can be hard these days to know what's real and what's fake. And I was taken for a split second yesterday because someone photoshopped. I'm sure it's a Photoshop. There's no way, but maybe it was real. A sea lion swimming like up what is now a river in like Duncan area on the island, and I'm like, this is a really this is amazing Photoshop, but like, so it's crazy, and you're like, the aerial images of all the flooding.
Oh, it's awful.
You're about to jump in.
Well, I did see. There's also lighthearted side of it too. So there was one video of a guy who was on a bike path.
Yeah.
And the water was like up to his waist.
Yes.
And he's biking in the
Right.
bike path.
Yeah.
Resistance training, probably.
Yeah, and now somebody did comment underneath, please don't try this at home, kids, because you get swept away.
Dangerous.
But it was funny.
It's funny how, like you said, Chilliwack's an island, like hope is all cut off. So I met with some youth pastors yesterday. Our ministerial met at lunch, and I walk in, and another youth pastor in town. He knows, we've known each other for many years. His parents are on the island, and he's like, first words out of his mouth pretty much are, well, I guess you're not going to the island anytime soon, hey? It's like, thanks. Yeah. How are you doing, buddy? I'm getting texts from my mom like, where's Sheena? Is she on Maine? Is she stuck over? It's like, no, she's at home. It's good. Yeah. We're all together. And that's even part of the conversation with the kids, is we talk about how just the road situation. And they're like, what do you mean we're not going to go to the island? It's like, hey, be thankful we're together. Yeah. Because there's a lot of families that's like, one member was, I was down in Vancouver, now they're there, and you're up here, and it's not to mention all the fact that there's just cars gone, and so much devastation, and
there's families separated, there's families displaced. I mean, we had power out for 24 hours Monday to Tuesday, and that was an inconvenience.
Actually, I bet a lot of people had, right? I think there's very few people who are watching this who didn't have power outages.
And it's an inconvenience, but some people are losing their houses, and they're displaced, and displaced for the third time even this summer.
Absolutely. To think that there was people who were out because of a fire, and then out because of a fire, and now they're out because of a flood. And how many people were like, I were in temporary housing because they lost their house in a fire, and now they're displaced from temporary housing because of a flood. And it's like, now what? So no doubt there's some people who literally are feeling really lost these days.
Which is a great reminder to us to just be praying for people that are in our community now because they're displaced, for people around our province who are really struggling. Just be praying for these people.
If it feels like the stores or places are a little extra full, we have thousands of extra people in town because their town is unsafe to be in right now. And so I'd also plead with people to pray for the situation, but also just have patience. Everyone, it's really natural that a lot of people be on edge, and the last thing we need to do is show any lack of grace. And so that we really want to encourage the church. This is a good time, even if just to show patience and grace and love to one another.
It means also too that I think we have that sense of like, we can still find joy in anything. So like, even for some people, Monday night, having power outage, it became like almost like tenting, camping outside, but you're inside.
Candles everywhere.
And being able to just hang out as a family and just do stuff and enjoy it together, stay warm by huddling together. And I think there's still hope. There's still good things that we can do with it. And a lot of it comes down to our attitude, I think, as well too.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, and speaking of hope,
Hey, that's
Christmas
where I was
coming,
going.
so yeah, go for
So
it.
this is a season of hope, but then again, so is the entire year and everything that we do. But one of the things that we emphasize is just the hope of Christmas. And so we're heading towards Christmas. It's about a week and a half from the first Sunday of Advent, and so we're going to be celebrating that through the Christmas season. And one of the things we're going to be doing is decorating around the church, just to kind of add some joy and stuff like that.
I love it. Like I don't know if the decorations are going out in the neighborhood earlier this year or not, but I'll tell you what, on Saturday afternoon, my neighbor on one side was putting up Christmas lights. I was putting up Christmas lights. The neighbor on the other side was putting up Christmas lights. The day before, the neighbor across the street had like a professional tree climber. There is now like a 40-foot Christmas tree in our neighborhood.
Nice.
It like stands above his house up an embankment, and it just like you see it from here actually.
Wow.
When I'm driving down the highway home in the evening, it's like, oh yeah, that's my neighbor's tree. It's awesome.
That's really cool.
And the nights are dark. I think we all, you know, the emotional mood can be dark, and hey, lights.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Christmas lights are great.
So we're not announcing that Christmas is coming because it is coming. We're not announcing that we're decorating because it just kind of happens. What we are announcing, we are announcing that if you haven't had a chance to check out all the pictures on the photo wall, this is all going to get moved next week. So this Sunday is your last chance to kind of check this out. There's actually even another one that's been added in the last week and a half. So make sure you find out who it is. And
absolutely,
it's like a Where's Waldo, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And just realize that we get to do this together. We get to be together, and this is a wonderful way just to acknowledge, hey, this might not be everybody, but this is a lot of people that we really care about, and want to just say, hey, Lakeview is home, and it's not just the place, it's the people.
Yeah, it was really fun to watch people looking at the pictures, and thank you for bringing them in. And so another Christmas thing coming up.
It's part of. I want to say this clearly. It's not my fault. I mean, Christmas is coming one way or another, but we do have an event planned on the 26th, and some have said no, we have to have it decorated for the 26th then, and I went okay, because we want to come together as a church family, right? A family of families, and celebrate Advent together by starting a couple days early and saying, this is what Advent is, and here's how it has been celebrated, here's how it can be fun. More than that, here's how it can be meaningful. And so I don't want it to be, I don't want anyone to think that it's, no, this is just an event if you've got kids at home. I mean, it is an event for those who have kids at home. We hope you'll join us. But it doesn't have to be just that. I mean, if you're a couple and you're like, I want to go hang out with some young families and see what's going on, come and join us. If you're like, hey, my grandkids, you know, I'd love to do something at Christmas with them, bring them. That'd be awesome. Or even if you're like, I want to be the cool aunt. This might not be the event, but hey, come, bring your niece or nephew and come and hang out with us. And it might not be the coolest event, but it'll be fun together. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to just hanging out in there, and it'll be Christmassy, and you know, sip some hot chocolate and play some silly Christmas themed games, and more than anything, talk about how we can have love, joy, hope, and peace at Christmas. And so that's on the 26th, Friday evening, from 6:30 until 8. And it'd be really helpful for you to send an email or note to the office, or if you're on Facebook, there's an event post, you can just say, hey, I'm going to that. That way we can be prepared for everybody who will be coming, and make sure there's enough tables set up and enough supplies and all of that. So
yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, we're excited about that. Something else that we're excited about is we talked a little bit about it on Sunday, but the Salvation Army Church and has asked us to join them, so we're partnering together, and we're hosting it in our auditorium here, the Gifts of Hope Christmas Toy Shop, I think is what it's called. And what this is an opportunity for parents of families in the community who just are not able to buy gifts for their children this year for whatever reason, to be able to come in, and these are all donated items, and then they can shop for their kids and take it home and give to their kids, and it's just a beautiful way to bless and give families dignity, and so we're really excited about that. That's happening December 12th through the 18th, and there's several ways that you can get involved if you would like. First of all, you can donate a gift. That is happening up till Sunday, so you can bring in a gift for a tween. They have a lot of gifts for younger children, but tweens or teens have a little bit of, they have harder time getting gifts. So what are some ideas for people?
First we need to back up, because not all of us are as cool and hip as you, Jeff, and know what the word tween means.
Thank you. Yeah, good.
So what we're talking about is those who are about 11 years old and older.
Can I define it?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure it means in between.
Right.
In between kids and
Teens.
youth,
Yeah.
teens.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
in between.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
good.
100%.
Good job.
Kudos
Yeah.
to Kevin
He's
because
studied this
he's
before.
lived them.
No,
Yeah.
I used to be a director at Chem.
Yeah.
So it was
Okay.
always like,
Yeah. Yeah.
there's that in between.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's a hard
usually
thing to
though
know what
at
to
camp,
get.
aren't you talking about couples where they're not really friends but they're not quite dating? They're a teen couple. Anyways, we're digressing majorly. The point is, for those who are about 11 years old and up, it can be hard to shop for. If you got kids that age, you know it's like they're impossible, because what they want is like just not accessible. They're like, yeah, I want the PS5. Well, nobody gets anyway. Don't get me started on that. Or they're like, I want an iPhone. No. But there's a lot of things that actually are still really enjoyable for kids that age. And I know you're about to ask me, give me ideas. So you know what? One of the things that seems to be really, and it's a bit of a niche thing. This is why I love that parents get to choose.
Yes.
Some kids that age, and whether they're 11 or they're 17, they love to sketch and doodle, and they just can't get enough like decent sketchbooks.
Yeah.
And so that's something they love. I know that for not that my wife is the cool aunt, so that's why I say what I did earlier. But because we have a lot of nieces and nephews in that zone too, not just our own kids. And all the girls seem to love like really soft, fuzzy blankets. They just like sit in like cocooned all day. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'd be sweating like crazy. That thing wouldn't be nice. And then guys, you know, it sounds cliche, but a new basketball or right, volleyball is quite. I don't know if it's just in our church group, but it's always popular, especially in the summer. And so, you know, some sporting equipment like that is great.
Board games are big for that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so now,
Somebody mentioned a curling iron for
well,
girls,
yeah. I mean,
like
some
makeup
girls,
stuff,
some
that kind of
girls just
thing.
need a new blow dryer, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Right, especially, so there's. I feel like I had a couple other on the list, but you can always ask too.
Yeah.
Hey, what else? What else? Because we could spend the next 10 minutes just stammering through ideas.
Yeah, so that just gives you some ideas, but that we're collecting until Sunday, and then they need to gather their stuff and sort it and all that.
Yeah.
So
Because
that's
everything we gather is going to the Salvation Army,
Yes.
correct?
Yeah.
And they will take it.
And that-
Which
yeah,
Sunday?
sort of.
The 21st?
This Sunday.
The 21st,
This Sunday,
okay.
yeah. That is the 21st. Oh my goodness. It's a crazy how fast it's going, but
Right.
okay, so
So
that's
if
one
peop-
way.
If people are watching this on the 21st, what do they do?
Some people watch this on Sunday morning. and
Yeah,
they're saying,
which is-
you're late.
You can probably still take it to the Salvation Army Church.
Yeah.
It's just that they like to be able to have time to sort it, because they're going to come and they're making it. They're making this into a nice store for families to shop in. Another way you can be involved is to volunteer, and there are basically 7 days that you can volunteer. You can pick one, and you can pick a part of a day. But on the 12th, the Sunday, after the service, we're going to stack the chairs. But then then we're going to join at 2 o'clock, Salvation Army Church, and whoever can volunteer from our church, to just bring in all the toys and everything and set up tables, and about between 2 and 5 we're trying to do that on Sunday. And then on Monday they're going to decorate and set up all the tables and everything. They're looking for volunteers for that. They're Tuesday through Friday, they're actually taking families through, so they're looking for morning and afternoon shifts for people to help with several things. One is to greet people when they come in, help register them, help in the kitchen, walk them through, pray for them. It sounds like you're had something to say, one of you guys?
Oh, I keep going because you've got still, I think, 3 or 4 different ways to get involved. So
and the reason that they're also taking families through is to kind of help them shop, but also that they're doing it one at a time for COVID protocol as well, to help all that. So that's why even just the front end registration is actually important.
Yeah. So any of those that sound interesting, we have a list that is started, but we actually, they want to know by Friday, so tomorrow, who's on the list. So if you're watching this, send us a note right away if you're interested in helping in any way, and we will have them call you, and then you can talk to them about all those different options of what you would like to do and when. So yeah. That's basically what we wanted to make sure you knew about this week at Lakeview. So keep praying for each other, pray for our community, for our province, and we just hope you have a great rest of the week.